Look at us being human together.
Crap. Holy moly.
You can say whatever you want.
Okay,
I
okay.
just watch what I say because I speak at schools. The guests can do whatever they want.
You're amazing. Man, have been watching your journey and I'm just like, how do you have a time for all of that and balance a family and still live out your passion and your dream? I'm like, this guy is amazing.
Really appreciate that. That's very nice of you to say. Yeah, there's a combination of reasons, and we get into that later. But this isn't about me, Maggie Mayfield.
What? Are you sure?
Today is about you. That's
I
what
mean,
we're
you
doing.
paid me a lot. I'm here to pump you up, Jacob.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate, and you've always been good about that. You really have always been good about that. Like we worked together a few times, and we've crossed paths, and we've been very friendly. But you've always treated me like a friend.
Aw.
You've treated me like we have history. Like, well, I grew up with him, or I went to high school with him. Of course, I have his back. And I'm like, wow, that is really, really cool. Like,
Aw.
we've had some interactions where you're like, hey, I'm here to be in your cheering section. I was like, I'm here to be in yours too.
I know. I know. Anyway, sorry, do the whole thing. I didn't mean to.
No, no, no. We're being people, but everyone here knows that this person is amazing. Now, let me give her a proper introduction. This is the one and only Maggie Mayfield, actress, voice actress, comedian, musician, voice acting coach, amongst other things. There's probably things I've left off of the list. She's probably going to fix the ocean. She might change the sky to be blue on a whim because she's like, I want to see if ducks can fly if the sky changes colors. So you're a jack of all trades, and I'd like to believe a master of most.
Oh, that's so nice. I love that you said fix the ocean because I just got married, and we don't have kids, and I'm not sure that we will have them. I'm a little old for that, but that's very personal. Anyway, there's so many nieces and nephews that we can just like shower some love on, and like, yeah, it's so I think important to be an adult that is a good role model for kids that are not their parents. You know what I mean? It takes a village, and so we are the village, and so we've been doing this thing this summer where we take each of the niece and nephews out just for ice cream or pinball or whatever we feel like doing that night. And we're like, you want to come? Cool. And just a couple nights ago, we were with one of my nephews and I was like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he goes, orthopedic surgeon. I'm like, the kid's 10, orthopedic surgeon. I asked my husband, I'm like, what do you want to be? He goes, basketball star. And I said, I wanted to be an environmentalist. I wanted to clean up the planet when I was a little kid. Isn't that
But
funny?
there
I
we go.
know. I
Just like
know.
this. You want to
Oh,
know what I said?
yeah, what did
You
you
want to
say?
know when I was
What'd you
5 years old. Now, in all fairness, I wasn't a hellbender. I was always a relatively good kid. Mischievous, yes, but good. I'd seen it on TV and I recited in front of a bunch of people like, what do you want to be when you grow up, Jacob? And I said, a burden to society.
You were a comedian before you even knew what it was.
I had heard it on TV. It sounded like a good collection of words
Yeah.
to throw at somebody. And my parents were like, hey, no, no. And I'm like, okay, that's
Uh,
cool.
I don't know.
I didn't know what it was, but I'm with you on the whole nieces and nephews thing. That's what I'm rocking right now. Also, my niece asked me maybe last week, she goes, Theo Jacob, are you going to have kids? And I said, no, no, I'm not. I have enough with you. I have you and I have your sisters and I have your brother. I know the good thing is because I don't have kids, I'll have more money, which means you'll have more fun. And they were like, oh, okay. And she said something at 9 years old that was kind of really wise. She goes, and Theo Jacob, you're probably a little old to start having kids. And I'm like, she's right. But also, how old do you think I am? And she's right though. And I have reached that point that I just think personally, at my age, it would be a bit irresponsible.
Yeah.
Um, don't I'm not saying these things don't happen, but at 48 years old, I'm not looking to be grandpa dad. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
want to be able to run around with the kids. I don't have kids because I'm so into family.
Mhm.
As a pursuing stand up years and years ago, I knew that was going to be my first love. And I knew it was going to be a selfish endeavor. And I knew if I wanted to get to a certain level, I would have to be on the road 300 days out of every year.
Yeah.
how was I going to be dad to
Yeah.
anybody if I
Yeah.
was going to pursue this? And if I wasn't, then I was going to have a child that I wouldn't resent, but I'd always wonder what if.
Mhm.
So that was my logic, and I've taken a lot of twists and turns in the process. But let's go back, camera on you, Maggie Mayfield. Here is the question that we start off every episode with. We've had a series of guests, and this is the only premeditated question I have for my audience. So, just like every podcast member before you, I want to bring a little bit of innocence back, a little bit of purity back. People are doom scrolling and they're finding reasons to be upset. I want to be a little more playful in existence, even if it's with adults. So, my question to you, Maggie Mayfield, is if you could have one superhero power, what would it be?
This is so easy. This is like I love this question so much. Because you did warn me that this was coming, and I said it out loud. I even knew what I was gonna say. But if I could, my superhero power would be I wanna be able to remember everything I read.
That is not unexpected.
I
I, I,
know!
I love that.
I read a
Elaborate.
lot of things because 'cause I'm a voiceover actor. I read a lot of scripts, a lot of books. I wish I could remember everything I read because 'cause I've touched on some pretty cool, interesting things. Um, Scientific, computer, just wild stuff. I don't remember it. Do you know how helpful it would be to go over to my nephew's house and be like, let me fix your computer. I remember. I remember I read the thing."
Which is great, which we're started a couple of minutes late, and I found out why. My computer was connected to my phone, and it was trying to do stuff to the phone. And I had to just be like, no, no, you're a computer, be a computer.
Yeah,
And that was the problem. That
yeah.
was the problem.
I know, but our
Oh,
phone is a computer too.
I
What's your
know.
what is your superhero power? I'm sorry, I don't know this.
No
What
one's
is
ever asked me. Thank you. That's very
Oh.
kind of you.
Oh.
Uh, don't have an answer, but I'll come up with one right now. If okay, I'll go two routes because I haven't actually given this thought since I was a child. So right now, as an adult, to answer your question, which is very kind of you to ask, I'll give two parts. I'm going to go with my selfish superhero power,
Yes.
and the first one will be the selfish one, and I want to be able to just appear in places that I want to go. Like just like right now, after this podcast episode was over, I would like to just blink or twitch my nose and do a little I dream of genie thing and just end up in Italy. You know, I would like to just selfishly just go "Oop, oop," and be somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, and it'd be nice if I could bring someone with me and be like, hey, person X and Y, y'all want to go to Italy for the day? They're like, sure, then we can have dinner and we can have wine and we'd have an excuse to meet other people.
Drive.
Yeah, we don't have to. Twinkle, twinkle.
Yeah.
Um, so that's my selfish one because I do love traveling so much. I have found deep personal satisfaction in breaking bread with people.
Hmm.
I have found deep personal satisfaction in shutting the F up and hearing somebody's story
Yeah.
and being able to actually understand that the way isn't the only way. There's many ways to move forward.
Mhm.
So the selfish one would be um, and I guess the other superhero power that would be less selfish is the ability to heal until the person. I don't want to make people live forever, but I would like to reduce suffering. So if someone had a lifelong, like for 2 years of like fluid in their lungs and they were having problems breathing,
Yeah.
I would like to be able to heal them enough where they were able to breathe and ride out the rest of their time
Yeah.
without suffering.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to stop them from dying. Let the course be what it may,
Yeah.
but I'd like to alleviate the suffering. I like that answer. I've,
Yeah.
I've
Well,
never thought of this.
I don't think that little kid Jacob was saying that though.
One little kid.
You.
No, you're right. As a little kid, probably just fly.
Yeah.
Just fly.
Yeah. I think it's
Um,
probably like to be invisible. because I was like really tall in school and I was really smart and very much a teacher's pet, you know? And like, I was not very well liked. And so if I could have just been invisible, I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy because I find you so likable now, but
And
maybe that's a developmental thing. So
therapy.
the
Everyone should try it.
so perfect. I'm glad you brought up school. Have you said you were a teacher's pet. Have you always been into performing art, being the center of attention, evolution? Because without speaking on your behalf too much, I'm telling you guys out there, this woman does things. And I want to see if we can unload them because look, stand up is stand up and music is music. And I think that all musicians kind of want to be funny. All comedians want to be rock stars. You found a way to bring them both together. And
Yeah.
I think that's brilliant. But
Oh,
where did the journey start for you?
um, I have always wanted to be an actor. Always, always, always. Like since I was little. I remember standing in front of our shower, which had like a mirror on the door rather than like glass or like the fabric. It was just a mirrored sliding door. And I would stand there after getting out of the shower and I would like twist my hair up into a bun like you see the actors do in the Oscars, you know, when they're dressed up. And then I would take my towel and I would wrap it so it was like long and I would give myself speeches to the mirror, you know, the Oscar speeches like, I'd like to thank God for my success, you know? Though I would do that. Always in plays, always in choir. And then went to New York to be on Broadway. And then 9/11 happened. And then I was like, well, I can't do that. This is too much. I'm a little child baby. And I don't want to, I can't do that. So I found radio and I found my first husband through radio. And when we got divorced, it was one of the most painful things I've ever experienced. And not being able to talk about it on the radio was killing me. I've always been funny. I developed a voice on the air all over the country. um, I just made jokes about pop culture and whatever was happening in our town. And, you know, like I just, as a kid, you move around a lot, you're funny and you make a few friends. And that was all I needed. So that's all I just talked in a padded room my whole life and thought I could make friends on the air that way. And that was it. But this painful divorce, I found that I didn't have enough airtime, first of all. And second of all, I couldn't say what I really wanted to say. Nobody wanted to hear that. You know what I mean? And so I had a lot of friends. We were doing improv. There was a comedy festival coming through, and I was doing a lot of marketing for this comedy festival, but I'd never done stand up. And I was honestly, Jacob, I was so mad because the festival that came through, it was 4 days, 9 shows, and there were only 3 female performers, 3 of them that were not improv actors. And I was like, where are the women? And I was like, I guess I have to do it. And so I got on stage. I don't really remember what I talked about, my ex-husband and we were cohabitating for a good 6 months before we could move out while we were separated. Yeah, one of those. And so probably just ranting about something that had happened the weekend before. No one hated it. And then it never occurred to me that I wasn't a stand-up comedian. It never occurred to me that there was like life before that moment. And so then the pandemic happened and you know, comedy, we tried it on Zoom, but I had also picked up a guitar somewhere along the way. And so my partner at the time, I would just start learning these songs and then singing his movements to the song that I was learning. And, you know, doing that on Facebook Live, like reading stories and just like having fun. When I brought it to stage, I was like, oh, this works. This is fun. I just made up these like different lyrics to whatever, you know, whatever was happening. And then people were like, "My mind is blown," and I was like, "Oh, okay." So that's how it happened. It's just always been there. Just major current events happened, and I was like, "Well, what if I play like this?" And then it turned into something people wanted to see more of. So
And I know you said you went to go to Broadway, but did you already play the guitar? When you said you picked up the guitar, did you pick up the guitar as far as you added it to your routine, or did you learn to play it and then And so did you learn to play it because of stand up?
No. Um, I got a guitar in high school, and I learned how to play a handful of songs from some book that I was gifted, just self-taught. And then I dropped it. I got busy, and I didn't pick it up again until my mid-20s. And always just kinda, like, played for fun, a few like, strum a few things that I knew. But it was always for my own just fun. I was never really good at it. But then the pandemic hit, and, there was nothing to do. And so then I was like, "This is the time to, like, get really good at this. You should really learn how to do this." And so that's when I was like, "Let me learn some more songs and see what I can figure out." Because up until then, I only played 5 or 6 things, you know? It was a rotation of Third Eye Blind and Jewel and, whatever, Sheryl Crow, whatever I could come up with or remember pretty easily. So, yeah, all the rest of that didn't come till 2020, and I was
I like
bored.
how I very much like your proactive approach based on what you're telling me. I think being proactive rather than reactive is a really good way to be. You're like, hey, there's no other women. I'll do it. I'll
Yeah.
go up there and do that. I think male, female, regardless of how you feel about things, not you, the general you, I like when people are like, I'm just going to change this. I'm just going to be that trailblazer or not have to see someone before me. Like there's that, it's a story about the first guy who broke the 4 minute mile. Like they thought it was humanly impossible. Have you heard about that?
Vaguely, but to continue,
Uh,
yeah.
uh, for the longest time, the 4 minute mile was that of a myth. It would never be broken.
Yeah.
And then a gentleman came around, breaks the 4 minute mile. And after he broke it, in the next like 6 months, 12 more people broke it. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah.
being loose with the numbers, but it was like that.
Yeah.
And I see no reason that people can't just be like, that, give it.
Yeah.
And then you adapted. 9/11 happened. Then you were like, this way, I'm going to learn to play the guitar. It sounds like you're very involved in your own evolution, if that makes sense.
Ah, what a kind thing to say. Thank you.
Right on.
Ah, I needed this. Thank you.
I, I calls them like I sees them.
Oh,
So,
thank you.
but I think that's really, really cool that you did that and you're still continuing to do that. I have some more questions, but I want to say that's how I got to where I am now.
Yeah.
Your 9/11 was my pandemic. So what happened to you in 9/11 that forced you to pivot was me being in the sky, going to go do stand up in Singapore, and the world shut down.
Yeah.
So I was in the air when that happened. There was this little virus going around, and we didn't know what it was. It was March 20th, 2020. All we knew at that time was it got Tom Hanks. That's
Yeah.
all we knew. And I get over there, and Singapore basically gives me the old, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. And 62 hours later, I end up back in the States, and my parents sent me a text saying, come home. I'm big in the family. Okay, I'll come home to ride this thing out. That'll probably be a week or two more, right? Is what I'm thinking.
That's what we all.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and I left Austin right before this new boom that was happening. I've been here for 21 years, anticipating the prophecy of this boom of comedy in Austin.
Yeah.
And then I leave and it happens. And I'm in an area in a border town, 7 minutes from Mexico, a bridge literally going from the country of Mexico into my city, and there's no industry. So I decided to make the pivot. And that's when I also adapted and said, you know what? I met a keynote speaker. We started talking. My dad wanted me to do that 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And all of the things I've learned in my travels as a stand up
Yeah.
have given me the tools I need and the perspective I need to take these other paths. And I never have to stop doing comedy.
Mhm.
I always have that in my back pocket. But at this point, comedy for me is upon request. How big is the check? How much do I like you? And is this going to be emotionally satisfying for me?
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
going to be in a great location? I'm in. Are you a nice person? See you Thursday. Or
Yeah.
is there a big fat check?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
I'll go do some sewer Ninja Turtle stand up with Shredder and we'll have some fun. Give
Yeah.
me the money. So
Yeah.
I hear the adapting thing.
Yeah.
So You
Thank you
ended
for
up
saying that. Yeah, thank you for saying that about comedy, watching you work as a speaker. It's hard to let it go, 'cause I'm sure for you too, it feels like it's been such a deep part of your identity for so long. Yeah, and, like, shedding that, it's kinda like, "Oh, well, who am I without it?" You're okay, we're fine, we're fine without it, but it is nice to know, like you're right, it is always there, it is always in the back pocket. Because right now, I'm in a pivot again, Jacob, I'm doing something different now, and my first love, which is acting, that I've been wanting since I was 5, I'm putting a heavy focus on that right now. And I don't have time for all of that. I've got a whole new Italian family I just married into that I love, that I'm spending a lot of time with, nurturing the friendships that I do still love and care about that, are reciprocal, and then the business. So it's like I don't have time to do comedy. It's not filling the cup the same way that it was even a year ago. So,
we're not that's what's funny as artists, and man, you hit the nail on the head. Was it so much a part of my identity? I If I wasn't a comic, what was I?
yeah.
And it's all every choice I made was in the spirit of comedy. And I talked to my dad recently and I said, you know what, Dad? The race was done. I finished the marathon and I've been obsessed with why am I not still running that race?
Yeah.
There's other races to be had. I got a 5K, metaphorically speaking, I got a 5K, a 10K, my own personal marathon in different settings. I became really hooked on running in the rain in Austin when I'm not there anymore. What am I obsessed about? It would, but
Yeah.
man, Maggie,
Yeah.
so much a part of my identity. How do you want it felt like a divorce. It felt like a death.
Mhm.
It's like,
Yeah.
how do I change this? Like that's all I've ever loved. And yeah, I get you. So
Yeah.
you're getting back into your first love acting. Do you know that's my base?
Is
Like
it?
that's where I came from. That's what I went to college for. That's what I excelled then in high school.
I didn't know
So
that.
I know we're still getting to know each other, like right here in front of everybody, in front of all
Oh.
the people. Um, that's where I come from. I come from acting in theater in high school and got accepted to the third ranked theater school in the nation in '96. Went elsewhere, but when I first started doing stand up, another comedian was like, "Hey, so like you're a theater guy, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, you can tell." He's like, "Cut it out. This isn't theater." And I was like, "Okay,"
What I
you
mean.
know.
Like, I don't know how to be but me. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So what are your right now that you're pursuing the acting? Not pursuing it because you're already an actor. I saw that you were in a film and a horror film, if I'm not mistaken. What was the name of it?
Self-isolated.
And how do you feel about it?
Um, I am really proud of that work. I'm really proud of that work. I will say on the record, that is one of the most challenging things I've ever done. It was all done guerrilla style. We had a 2-week break in the middle of 2020 in July where the world kinda opened up again. I was in California, world kinda opened up again, and we made a movie in that time. There were catering plays that came and, like, fed us. We were able to get people together. Honestly, the checks that Trump was sending out at the time, we took that to pay people to help us film and edit and perform, all the things, makeup, all that. Um, so, I'm very, very proud of that film. I won an award for that film. Yeah, but was I didn't ask for that film. That was written for me unbeknownst to me, and that film, off the record, we I went through a terrible breakup, right after that film, and so, um, it's a love-hate relationship. Like, I love the work that I did. I love the people that I met. I'm so grateful for those experiences because it taught me a lot about how to be a good director, how to be a better human, how to be an artist that lets other artists shine in my space. When I want to create something, it's a collaborative effort. It is not a do this, do that, do this. I brought you on board because I appreciate your talents. Shine, baby, shine. You know what I mean? Yeah, and that set did not have a lot of that mentality, and so, yeah, that's, I think that's as much as I can say about that experience, but
No, that's great. I love. I think a lot of the arts, and I think a lot of artists will agree. It's not just one cookie from one jar. You know what I'm saying? Like I met Lizard Man at a comedy open mic. He's a sideshow performer, is what I thought, but that's not all he is.
yeah.
You know, I've been lucky enough to meet a bunch of sideshow and circus performers. I've dove into their world. I have had the opportunity to spruik. And are you familiar with spruiking?
Uh-uh.
Spruiking is basically the old school carnival barking, you know,
Oh, okay.
but
Step
animals,
right up. Yeah.
yep, yep,
Oh, okay.
animals bark, people speak, hence the spruiking.
Ah, okay. Okay.
And I've had an opportunity to witness these powerhouse, beautiful beasts of entertainers
Yeah,
spruik their effing hearts out. And that is a talent unto itself.
isn't it? Yeah.
That is I know you work out. So you would, if we're doing sprints, these spruikers are doing marathons
Amazing.
all day long. I knew a guy, I still do. His name's Magnus Danger Magnus. And he had a book of alliteration. Oh, you're going to love him. Yeah, I feel like
No, I can't
now that,
I can't wait to meet him.
yeah, now that we're doing this podcast, I feel like we just took our friendship up a notch. We've always been cool and supportive. I'll message you like, hey, look at this thing I just did. And you're like, that's great. I'm here for it. But like now we're becoming friends because we've done stand up together. We're work mode. You know, you got to go up there, be entertaining and awesome. And I got to try my best to do the same. But right now we're conversing. But Magnus Danger Madness is this gentleman. He had a book of alliteration and different ways to be able to find creative ways to bring people in the door to watch other people entertain.
Yeah.
And that's it's its own thing.
Oh,
That's the
man.
difference between you singing and you acting.
If you ever get a chance to do, Fringe Festival in Edinburgh
That's where I met him. I met him at the Adelaide Fringe Festival.
and oh,
I
yeah, I think you told me about that. Okay, Nat, that's right.
hit me, talk to me though.
Yeah, shortly after I now remember because we were at the boutique and you were t describing this experience you had recently had, at Fringe Festival, and my only experience with it was in LA, which is not it is not like Adelaide, it is not like, Edinburgh, it is not like that at all. They put up a few flyers and people post things on Twitter and they're like, "Come to the thing," and then you go and you're like, okay. Alright, I saw one," you know? But going to Scotland to practice those skills and then have to get on stage and deliver what you promised outside. I mean, but then the friendships that you make because 'cause you're exhausted, so you bark for someone else, and then they bark for you, and it's like, "Oh my god." Yeah, what a fun time. It's
Maggie, you are speaking my language, and this is where I was when I came back during the pandemic.
yeah,
I was at Adelaide Fringe. The
yes,
only Fringe festival bigger is Edinburgh.
yeah,
But Eric, the lizard man, advised me years ago not to do Edinburgh unless I wanted to have fun, but don't expect a financial return.
yeah,
And because I am a businessman, if I'm going to do it, it has to, like the saying goes, if it makes dollars, it makes sense.
yes,
And I'm at a point in my career where things do need to make sense, but my goodness. So barking and spooking and all this stuff. And Magnus Danger Magnus is a mustachio man who seems like he's out of a comic book.
yeah,
This guy doesn't seem real. And he's awesome. He's super Aussie. He's from Perth. I met him in Adelaide. We had the honor of him being our spooker. How did we get him? There was other people that tried to poach him, bigger venues and bigger productions, and he stayed with us. He
yeah.
stayed with us, and he literally talked like this the whole time. I'm going to talk and say this thing. And I was like, oh, you are wonderful. He would tell people that my fluids cured diseases. He was just out of control.
That's amazing. Oh
He
my
made so much, he made that environment. Now, to
yeah,
his credit, he couldn't stay with us forever. He has moved on to
yeah,
bigger and better things, and rightfully so. He
yeah,
should.
yeah.
But yes, I'm very familiar with Fringe. I'm
Oh,
returning this year. in March for the first time in 6 years.
Oh, awesome. Yes. Amazing. Oh, I'm so happy for you. When is it? So it goes up in March. Okay. You've
It
got
starts
some,
in February.
are you doing like are you speaking? What's your show? What are you doing?
Look at you turning this into my interview. I love it. The interview of James Garcia by Maggie Mayfield.
Well, I
I
mean, anyone listening would be curious, like, well, what is it? What are you gonna do?
no, I love this. So for personal reasons that I'm not even going to share here, I'm actually a super private person. So I'll leave it at that. For personal reasons, I haven't been able to return to Australia due to certain duties. And off off the off the podcast, I'll happily tell you why. This is public. Sorry, guys, I'm a private person. Um, I feel comfortable returning this upcoming year, and I'm going to get booked as a speaker somewhere. I'm put it out there, and that chunk of money I charge for my speaking is if I charge this for stand up, I charge this for speaking, which has been a fun thing to discover. So I get one gig over there, it'll pay for a bunch, and then I'll do stand up for extra play money.
Yeah.
Before I've been very lucky at Fringe. I landed on a golden goose of a tent. I don't have to flyer. I don't have to promote. All I have to do is wait for my turn. And the Lizard Man made that happen.
Oh,
He vouched for me. In that world, he's Elvis Presley.
yeah. Yeah.
And he says, I got a guy. And they were like, we'll see your guy. And I'm like, hi, I'm the guy. And they're like, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
And it turns out I was. And now when I go there, it is a very profitable trip for me. The last time I was there for 9 weeks,
Yeah.
I had an Australian bank account
Yeah.
and I waited for the money to get to a number I wanted and I played it like the stocks
Yeah.
and then I pulled it out. So I will be going for speaking. I will have some fun with some stand up. I'm a
Yay.
wine enthusiast, so I'm going to return to the place of the birth of my love for wine. And this time I'll know what I'm talking about. I
Yeah.
have a lot of friends there, and I hate to call them fans. I don't like the fact that I have fans. I'd rather have people who support me or friends. So I have a lot of friends that support my pursuits.
Yeah.
They're waiting to see me. I'm waiting to see them. We're going to
Oh,
drink some wine together. We're going to embrace. We're going to tell some stories, and
yeah.
we're going to get a little bit tipsy.
Yes. God, the Aussies, they know their wine, man. It's good stuff. Good
It
stuff.
really is.
Yeah.
What are you doing right now that is like you said, you're returning to your first love of acting? I want to take a detour really quick right now because I'm very, very interested. And I think a lot of people don't know what the world of voiceover acting is. And I know that you know that world. And I want the people to have an opportunity to understand what it is because I've seen several of your posts. I love them when I see them because I'm like, oh, that's informative. Oh, that seems helpful. My goodness. 'Cause- Well, because you're also providing people with an opportunity to, you know, teach a man to fish. You're teaching them to fish. So
Yeah.
can you talk to us a little bit about the wonderful world of voice acting?
Yeah. There's a wonderful quote that goes like this. The path you seek, your true calling is on the path you seek to avoid it. Your true calling is on the path you seek to avoid it. From a little movie called Kung Fu Panda, spoken by Jack Black. And that resonates with me so hard because I have been a voiceover actor since 2014. Earlier than that, really. Because of radio and voice acting was a way for me to make money without having to get a real job. It was something that I stumbled into, made a lot of money really early, and was able to like really pursue stand up. I really wanted to do stand up. I was hitting some strides, especially when I first got to Austin, and I thought, this is it. This I'm going to do stand up. And I just did voiceover on the side because it just paid all the bills, and it didn't take long. I'd spend a couple hours a day in the morning, and that was it. And then I had all the time in the world to like write songs and write material and go to open mic and do this and do that. Um, and then there is a little writer's strike that happened, and it affected every part of the industry deeply because AI came into play, and then suddenly I wasn't making money doing stand up like I was doing voiceover, and I couldn't quite figure out how to crack the code. I was starting to tour and like go on the road a little bit, and I was trying to figure out the merch game, and pretty much every time I would go out, I'd break even. So I'd add to my email list, but then I had nothing to show for it. So as my voiceover business was suffering, my stand-up wasn't helping pay the bills either. So I wound up like losing my apartment, and I had to move in with family. And it turns out, the path I took to avoid my true calling, acting and voiceover acting, that's what I should have been doing all along. So I wound up meeting some people that are business coaches that help you take your idea, your creative idea, and turn it into a service, into a program. So that way I can have more time to do all the things that I love. So I run this voice acting coaching business, and I'm really good at it because what I hear a lot is everything's so gatekeepy. It costs so much money. I don't know what to do. So I was like, yeah, everyone asked me how to do this anyway. And I wrote a book, and then I gave it away. And then people were like, I still have questions. And I was like, great. And then I started creating content, and I started taking on clients and helping build businesses. And it's wild how many people I'm working with 2 clients right now that just quit their jobs to do this because they are making enough to be full-time voice actors. So I'm really, really proud of that. So I don't know if that answers your question, but um, yeah. So because I'm running,
I appreciate you very much.
yeah,
That's
it
awesome.
was, hiring those coaches to help me build this voiceover coaching business has been one of the scariest investments I've ever made. Their name is Artistpreneurs. I cannot recommend them enough. I'm still with them. It's been like 3 years, and I just keep growing and scaling. Artistpreneurs. Um, Honestly, Jacob, if you ever get to a point where like I just want to stay home and you want to coach other speakers, they'll help you put together a plan and a format, and it is the best money I have ever spent.
We'll definitely talk. I have in about 2018, I stopped calling myself a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
I started referring to myself as a businessman entrepreneur who does stand up, and I realized that I had a real knack and passion for business. Um, what you're talking about right there, I thought I was going to make public speaking courses recently,
Yeah.
and it turns out I pivoted and I'm making. I don't want to say too much. I'll tell you off the clock. But I'm making programs for school districts is
Yeah.
something I'm pursuing.
Yes.
And yeah, it's I don't want to be super secretive about it, but right now I'm not ready to let the cat out of the bag publicly.
For sure. Yeah. Listen, people ruin good things, so say less. Until it's good and done. And I don't mean that negatively. We just do when we don't understand it. When someone doesn't get it, they're it, you question it. I don't know about you, but it frustrates me. It's like, no, this is great. I'm sorry you don't see the vision. Maybe I'm not explaining it well enough to you, but like you're ruining the momentum right now because you're questioning my beliefs right now.
And I think what you're saying, I actually brought up on the last episode. The first episode I did split screen. That's why I was confident we could do another one here. I brought that up because the last guest is wonderful. I met her, Natalie, but she's from Kentucky. And
Wow.
yeah, it's the greatest. I know that you've traveled, but meeting people from the States while out of the States is just like, you're my new best friend.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like minded people
Yeah.
tend to gravitate. But that's one thing we talked about is how some people, you tell them your new idea and they're just like, yeah, that's great. And then they list off all the reasons and all the problems you're going to have. And it's like, yeah, but there's all the reasons over here why it could work. And you got to risk it to get the brisket. Like, you have to risk it.
Yeah.
And maybe it doesn't work out. Well, now you learn something. You have some valuable lessons. You've been through this and that and pandemic and 9/11 and voiceover back to acting. You can do all of it. You're more of a threat now than you've ever been in the world of entertainment. You're the person who's like, they say in acting, like, say yes, always say yes. I could do it. But here's the thing, you're not bluffing. You can do it. So when you're doing voiceover acting, and is that the proper way to refer to it? Voiceover acting?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I saw a clip of you with a video game voice, right?
Yes.
That was
Yes.
so cool. What was that like? Can
Um,
you talk about it, or is it one of those things like an NDA or something like that?
no, no, no. They've announced it and it comes out. It's on my IMDb, which is I think the coolest part of the whole project. But like this company, they're out of Atlanta. They're just an indie game company. I think this is like their third game they've produced, and so it just runs out on Steam. It'll be out later this year. My dad and my sister are super excited to play it, but I don't really know anything about the game. I don't know what it's about. All I know is I play a warrior. You know what I mean? And I just say a bunch of things. I'm not really sure what the story is. I don't know,
No,
but
that's cool.
I know that I'm important, but I don't really know anything else. So they give you like, here's a few lines, there's no context. And then they're like, okay, for these, we need you yelling. And so then you stand up and you're like, after him, and you got to shut the door and the dog's afraid and everyone's like, what are we doing? But other than that, you're just pretending in a booth by yourself in front of a microphone, like, screw that guy. We're going after him. We're taking his money, and like you build the whole world in your head. So your imagination muscles are very, very strong. And that's it. So if you can see it in your head and you can deliver it like it's real, then that's voice acting.
What do you recommend as the best jumping point for someone who wants to go into entertainment? Like in MMA, they say like best link's the best foundation. You build from there. What do you think if I was a 23-year-old? I just moved to Austin. I meet the wonderful Maggie Mayfield, and I say, Maggie, what's your advice for me? How should I start? I just know I want to entertain. What do you think I should go into first?
Improv. Improv. And it didn't occur to me until the last like year or so why. But what improv teaches you, and I hate watching improv. I love being in it, but I hate watching it. But it is so important that every entertainer does it at some point in their career because what it teaches you is how to make a choice and stick to it. Just make a choice. It could be wrong. It could be not funny. Who cares? But you made a choice and you committed to it. And that is invaluable. Because we make these
Yes.
choices. Yeah, we make these choices as actors and we don't know why we're doing it. And then we're like second guessing ourselves. It doesn't matter. Make the choice and stick to it. Go with it. Test it out. Test drive it. Run with it for a minute. Don't give up on it just because it didn't work out in this direction. It could work over here. Just start with improv. That's what I would say.
An amazing answer. That was really good. You got me a little bit fired up. I have some experience in improv, but I don't like watching it either. It's
Yeah,
a hard thing.
it is hard.
It's it's very hard for people to come together because you have five different personalities, five different backgrounds, five different egos, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of ways to get the formula wrong. But for all the reasons that you just expressed, is the reason to do it. And that's amazing advice. Now, I also want to ask, what's next on the horizon for you? Like, what's the next thing that Maggie Mayfield is going to dive into and that we can support?
Aw,
That we're able to get me and whoever's watching out there. This is a new podcast, so let's pretend it's millions. But uh, what is it you're doing, and what is it? How can we support you?
yeah. I just got booked on a couple of plays, so I'm scratching that itch again. through a nonprofit here in Austin. And then I am very secretly, not so secretly, finishing up my first feature-length screenplay. So I'm hoping that next year I can start the process of running it in film festivals, just the screenplay, and getting some interest to create a short, which then I can take to create interest in making it a feature. So I know the process is long, but I gotta finish writing it. I'm about 80 pages in, and I think I have another 30 to go.
This just came to mind. And I was just about to wrap it up because I'm like, how can we support you? But I was like, you know what? I'm curious. Me, the guy, your friend. What's one of the greatest performances you've ever seen, regardless of genre? What's a night of entertainment that you were just like, that all day? Give me that again. Stick it in my veins and pump it into my blood.
That's such a great question.
Thank you.
Um, because at first my thought was like, oh, I'm rewatching Ted Lasso right now because the new season comes out soon. And I just love that show. And watching it last night, it just moved me to tears again. It's so wonderful. The writing, the acting, the storyline of it, just 12 out of 10. I mean, that show's perfect. But then as you were describing the question, um, the last show I saw live was Charlie Puth.
I'm
Charlie
not familiar.
Charlie Puth is a pop singer, writer. You've probably heard the song on the radio. It's been a long day without you, my friend. And
Yes.
I know I'm gonna he wrote and sang that. He didn't
Okay.
he's if you are interested in music at all, I would highly recommend to follow on Instagram because he breaks down the science of sound, where it comes from, and how to produce songs. So he'll sample like door knocks, or like swings, the sound that a creaky swing makes outside, and he'll record these sounds and make these wonderful. Anyway, watching him on stage, he was definitely not the most talented performer on stage, but he knew how to create an ensemble of people who are amazing, and he knew how to step back and let them do their thing. And it just elevated the whole thing. Not the most talented singer on stage. His backup singers were far better singers. Not the best instrumentalist on stage. His guitar player was unreal. But these are songs that he wrote, that he produced. And to be able to bring it together in a live setting, it was just. I cried. I cried in that show more than once. It was so good. So great.
I love that.
Charlie.
I love that. Yeah, I'll definitely give him a follow on Instagram. When you were describing his role in all of this, I'm like, sounds like you're describing Seinfeld. Not the best actor, but he surrounded himself with people who had chemistry and great timing. And yeah, there's nothing like a good performance. And I think a lot of people who support the crafts and the arts, they watch, whether it be Comedy Central, Hulu, whatever it is, and they see stand up, and it's like, yeah, that's really good. Go see it live. Live is different. A good play. I went to a burlesque show on the West End recently, and I generally don't like burlesque because I think it's just like stand up. Open mic level is the open mic level. There's a huge leap between anything here and something up here.
Yeah.
So I don't hate the art of burlesque. I've just seen a lot of this. You're not going to catch me at an open mic for comedy for entertainment either, you know. But when you see something at the highest level, I'll tell you about it some other time, but it was mind blowing. The skills and the abilities and the understanding. And speaking of music, you can ask Aaron Cheatham. I think you know Aaron Cheatham, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So he was with me when we were in London, and we went to go see my friend Daniela DeVille, who just broke the world record for the quickest and tightest roll of a frying pan done by a woman. And I'll send you a clip of that.
That's
And
Unheard of.
She's she's amazing. She's amazing. So
Yeah.
she's in this burlesque show with the West End, which is like their Broadway.
Yeah.
And we go down there, and I get to look like the coolest kid in town with Cheatham's with me, and they had my name on the list. They sat us, they recognized us. We sat down and proceeded to watch the greatest host of all time. I have never seen a host so great as this gentleman named Michael in drag, looking beautiful as all get out, have all the talent in the world. This dude could sing. He had timing. He had it all. He also had, here's the thing, like, cool, drag, fine, whatever. Be talented, be rehearsed, and be good. I don't care where I'm at. You're paying top dollar, which I didn't that day. But if you have an obligation as an artist to be able to put on the show. This guy named Michael put on a show.
Yeah.
Then his piano player, let's just call her Jill for now, because I don't remember her name.
Yeah, that's
The
okay.
piano players out there, they're taking suggestions that we typed into our phone in the moment and saying, what do you want to hear? What's the song you want us to do? And then we know because Aaron Cheatham's name's up there, and he's like, I want to hear Rihanna. Then you see on the screen Jacob James Garcia, and I'm like, Taylor Swift. And then you see blah, 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 blah. And then they
You
go
didn't
and
say
say,
Taylor Swift, did you?
I probably did.
I love you so
I,
much more right now. I didn't know that was possible.
yeah, no, thank you. And that's actually, I've been a fan of her since the beginning of time. One of my friends referred to me as one of his most punk rock friends due to my love of Taylor Swift. He goes, punks don't care about what anybody thinks. Your undeniable love for Taylor Swift makes you the most punk guy I know.
That's so cool. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
So I did that whole thing. By the way, side note, I love Carly Rae Jepsen. I bring her up in my stand-up, but as a human being, I looked up her catalog. She's really good. It's not just Call Me Maybe.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like, Call Me was like, no, look up her other stuff.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And she chooses to do pop. Carly Rae Jepsen loves the art of pop and does it. Can she do something else? She said, when the time comes. But right now she's doing this, a choice. We don't have to do what other people want us to do. You do what you want to do. It's your life. But Michael goes up there. Jill's on the piano. They're taking recommendations from the crowd on the spot. This piano player, with all of her beautiful mind autism, meshes this wonderful mesh up melody piano thing, and Michael sings to all of them.
Wow.
And it was just this ebb and flow and give and take. And all I could think in my head was, I really hope Aaron Cheatham, international comedian Aaron Cheatham, sees what I've seen. I think he might be, but I can't count on it. It's his brain. Later on, I'm like, what do you think? He goes, that host. And I'm like, yes. And he started taking in the powers of somebody else. And you start to form new habits and pick up new skills because you saw such a high level.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got excited, but it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
To watch that level.
Yeah.
Oof.
And then it makes you want to like go back to work. You're like, oh, I can't wait to try again. I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to be on stage again. I can't wait to get that, to create that for
So
someone else. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So last thing, where do the people find you? How do they support you? Internets, Instagrams. I don't know what you're on, Twitters or whatever they're called.
Yeah. Likes and follows and shares are free and they're kind. And you can do that at Maggie Mayfield. Maggi Mayfield on any pick a platform. It's all the same. So at
Okay.
Maggie Mayfield. Thank you so much.
Really enjoyed it. And thank you. Thank you. You got me all bubbly. I mean,
No.
I'm looking forward to posting this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like,
Me too.
I want people to get to know you. So
Same. You
I want to
too,
say
man. Yeah.
thanks. Thank you for all your support. I know you've always been kind and generous with your cheerleading, but I feel like we're a little bit closer now. And
Yeah.
In the near future, we'll find a way to collaborate or just go get a muffin. You know, like, let me meet. I don't know. Blueberry muffins are awesome.
They
Bring your
are
wonderful
awesome.
husband. Yeah.
They are.
Different story. I'm going to stop. I was like, bring it up. Nope, stop, Jacob. Bring your wonderful husband around and we'll go get some food and drink a margarita or do something.
Break fast. Yes.
Yes. Okay, Maggie.
Oh, this is awesome. You're the best. Thank you for having me. It's
Thank you.
made my week. You have no idea. Thank
No,
you.
I'm glad. And don't, and when you get tired, rest. I know someone like you is probably go, 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 go. It's not quitting when you're resting. And I've been telling people all the time to take their love snack every day for at least 2 minutes. That's the love snack, is when you just take a break, step back, turn off the phone, turn off everything, and don't try to solve a problem. Don't sit there in silence and be like, how can I fix this? Don't fix it. Just swim in a pool of your excellence. Just say how amazing you are, whether it's father, sister, uncle, aunt. Just love yourself and actively do it and treat it like a muscle. Do it for a minute, do it for a minute and a half, do it for 2 minutes. Start to schedule it. So don't forget to do that. I know how hard you work. I knew that before this episode, but now I really know this brain and hearts of these artists are quick, they're rapid, they're fast, and they come at a high price. They do take energy.
This
So
is this is what you speak about, isn't it?
I've started touching on it, but I'm not doing a speech right now. I'm being a human being talking to another human being. So no, no, no. I'm just doing this because I'm a person. So please keep your cup full. We need more of Maggie. We just can't have you on empty. So make sure to love yourself plenty. Love your hubby. I can't wait to meet him, shake his
Yeah.
hand.
Yes,
And
you guys.
on behalf of Maggie Mayfield, I'm your favorite JJG. Share it with your friends. We'll see you guys later. Maggie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Later, everybody.